So much Dungeon of Doom on this episode, way more than I would have liked. I'm John Ritlin with a retro review of WCW Nitro from September 25th, 1995. Building towards Halloween Havoc 95, yes, the retro reviews will continue until morale improves, or until I freaking snap. And it's probably going to be the latter, with the fact that I'm also retro reviewing WCW 2000 and 2001 coming up. But you know what? It's fun to look back on these shows and see if nostalgia really was just clouding my vision, if these shows were really good, or if they were really goddamn shit. In the case of this episode, it was better than the previous weeks. Now, it still had a long way to go. There were a couple matches that were there just to be, building the angles. But that being said, this one had more juice, no, not steroids, and just energy, behind it. It just seemed to have a little more pep to it. So we start with Alex Wright versus Disco Inverno, who never served a purpose in WCW. Disco, that is. Alex Wright actually wasn't that bad, but Disco, the fact that he was ever hired was fucking embarrassing. He should have never been hired. Whoever hired him was a goddamn idiot, and I don't care who it is. And if you were a fan of Disco, that's fine. I just never was. Commentary was more focused on Hogan and what Hogan would say because he had an injured neck from when the Giant attacked him at Fall Brawl. And then a backslide pins Disco in his Nitro debut. So at least the fucking losers start off with a goddamn loss. At least that was proper. And then Hogan is backstage in a neck brace with the WCW Championship. Jimmy Hart's holding it on his neck and he's doing lifts. It's really, really odd. And then Hogan talked about, Giant has a monster truck. Well, I'm going to build a better monster truck with blackjack and hookers. And also he's just going to make a bigger, better monster truck. And it's going to be a monster truck match. And nobody asked for this. This was fucking atrocious. This was so fucking atrocious. And we're still a month away, programming-wise, from this. So it's like fucking hell. And then we get recaps of the Savage Luger promo, and then we have Savage in the ring, and Luger immediately comes out and says, it seems to be about a lack of respect. How about this? How about we have a match and let's up the ante? You get my title shot if you beat me, and if I don't beat you, then I will leave WCW, because he could go back to Vince after pretty much, saying, fuck you, Vince, I'll sign with you and then fuck you over and go to WCW. Don't blame Luger, honestly. He always fit better in WCW. We know who's winning that match next week, by the way, because it's obviously going to be Luger. And then we get Kurosawa with Colonel Rob Parker, a.k.a. Manabu Nakanishi, with hair. It was really actually kind of insane to see that. At least it was weird. It was weird to see that. It was really weird to see Nakanishi with that much hair. And when he was on the smaller side, because then eventually he would get to where he was a much bigger individual. And, had a hell of a goddamn career. Boy, did he have a hell of a career. He took on Sergeant Craig Pitbull Pittman. Look, this match was better than I thought it would be, because at least it was longer than the match Pittman had against Cobra, the Cobra Commander, if you will. Boy, that match was terrible, a Fall Brawl. But there was a concrete bump. They focused on each other's arms. Some good action here. Code Red attempt, but he got his foot on the rope. Kurosawa did, and then hit the German suplex pin. 1, 2, 3. Cool. That was nice. Don't really know why this match was featured on Nitro, but it was what it was. It certainly wasn't bad. And then Arn and Pillman talk about, Ric Flair, and talk about, Arn says, well, if you jump on me, you jump on Pillman, and da-da-da-da-da. You can't find a tag partner. You tried to talk to Savage, but you beat up his dad recently, and you tried to talk to Sting when you crippled him and almost put him out of the business about 4 years ago. It's actually 5, but I digress. And, it was what it was. This is going to, of course, lead to Flair getting Sting to tag with him at Halloween Havoc 95, which will not backfire on Sting at all, except it totally will. Kevin Sullivan versus Randy Savage. Sullivan had the Zodiac in his corner, one of the many thousands of gimmicks that Bruce Beefcake had in his career. This is all because Sullivan interrupted the beach workout of Randy Savage, and then Zodiac attacks, the Zodiac attack, if you will. That didn't fucking work at all. And the ref gets tossed by Savage soon after, and a DQ, and then he elbow drops Zodiac. Giant comes out, drops Savage with a choke slam, drops a couple other jobbers. One was Mark Starr. Drops Luger with the choke slam after Luger would not beat up Savage because he started punching the Giant. Just a little setup, because we all know Luger's going to join the Dungeon of Doom, because that's what we fucking needed, was him joining that goddamn joke cast of characters. But then, Giant just lays out everybody. And it was kind of actually interesting, because you got to see, the future Big Show do something that he did quite a bit on WWE TV. He also did it pretty well in WCW. This wasn't bad for a guy that hadn't had an official match yet. And then Ming versus Luger. Luger was beat up and pretty much got beat up for a while. Tried to make a comeback, but Ming used a Tongan spike and just used an international object, not a foreign object, because Ted Turner didn't like the term foreign object. and got the victory, and then the announcers killed time, and that's pretty much it right there. These reviews are going to be a lot shorter because it's only an hour of programming. But let me know what you think of Nitro at this time. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.